Florists around Dunblane have dealt with dozens of anniversary tributes. In its cemetery, the first bouquet of a repeated wave of worldwide sympathy. When March the 13th is past, Dunblane's bereaved plan an international gesture of their own, in song.
Hearts across the sea, beating as one. Their prayers start the healing.
Dunblane musician Ted Christopher had a recent hit with the anti-gun anthem Knocking on Heaven's Door. With the agreement of Dunblane's bereaved parents, he intends to take his new song to Tasmania. There at Port Arthur, 35 people were killed in a random shooting last April. Prior to its first anniversary, children of the area will be invited to join youngsters from Dunblane on backing vocals.
Stars pierced the night with the hope and the faith we needed. Strangers pulled us through, new friends we never knew.
Well, I think a lot of people listen to music and it moves people. It's a medium that we can use to express emotions in, that we can get relief from, we can express anger in. And I think it allowed us to do all these things, and it was certainly a very great comfort to everybody that got involved over here, and I hope that in Tasmania that we can get people strongly involved over there too, and just bring a little bit of help to them.
Help between two communities whose bond is their loss. James Matthews, Sky News, Dunblane.
This is Sky News.
Ask please, never again.
Against the gun, Dunblane's children record their video.
Is live at 5 with Frank Partridge and Lisa Aziz.
Very good evening to you. The children of Dunblane have recorded an emotional tribute to their murdered friends. As well as being tipped as the Christmas #1, it's likely to become an anti-gun anthem around the world. Bob Dylan agreed that his song, Knocking on Heaven's Door, could be adapted. Sky News has exclusive pictures of the children recording the song at the Abbey Road Studios in London. James Matthews reports.
For Duncan Turner and Jack Crozier, time will fade the memories of the big sisters they lost on March the 13th. But from inside a music shop near Dunblane has come the project to remember Megan, Emma, their friends and teacher.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Ted Christopher's cover of the Dylan classic has been put on CD by RCA Records and made national performers of a group of children from Dunblane, some of whom lost brothers and sisters in the shooting.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
They took with them to the Abbey Road Studios a first in the music industry, the permission of Bob Dylan to change his own lyrics to emphasize the message in their song.
All these guns have caused too much pain. This town will never be the same. So, for the bands of Dunblane, we ask please, never again. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
The youngsters are accompanied on lead guitar by Mark Knopfler. Their artistic ambitions are tempered by a sense of purpose behind the song.
I think we were all thinking about the children and how much we wanted them to come back and everything.
Like it was trying not to let them down, like to try and ban guns.
The sleeve of the CD will bear a picture drawn by Emma Crozier, one of Dunblaine's victims, the elder sister of Jack.
I know it's something that Emma would have loved. And I think from that, to know that that's his big sister's picture that's on the front of the record should mean a lot to him as well. It means a lot to us.
The record is being released prior to a festive period which will be difficult in Dunblane. The first Christmas since the community lost 16 of its youngsters and their teacher.
God is my shepherd.
Proceeds from the disc will go to a selection of children's charities. The parents of Alison Ross hope it will have emotional benefits too, for a baby who only knew her sister Joanna for 4 months.
She might think of her big sister every time it's played. Hopefully she will. In the future, anyway. So say that's played for my big sister. Won't you?
James Matthews, Sky News, Dunblane.
A very song, some extraordinary lyrics, and the man behind it all is waiting to talk to us on the line from Edinburgh. He's Ted Christopher, who you saw in that report. Ted, good evening to you.
Good evening.
I'm sorry to have to say it in these circumstances, but I think everybody was moved down here, and it's something that you need to be congratulated on, but at the same time, obviously, it couldn't have happened in sadder circumstances. How do you feel? Do you feel that there's a double-edged sword to this?
Very much so. It's a great achievement for any musician to do what we have done, but the way or the circumstances that have contributed towards us being able to do it, then we just wish it didn't exist.
Why did you choose that particular song?
It's a song that I've done for many years, and it was one night singing the last verse of the original lyrics, which say, put all these guns in the ground, we can't shoot them anymore. It just seemed to say exactly what we felt in Dunblane, and with a few changes it just became exactly what we wanted to say.
But before you were able to release it, you had to approach Bob Dylan. How did you go about doing that?
Yes, that was very difficult. Bob Dylan is not the most accessible person in the world. I was very lucky in that I've got a friend from way back, a guy called Jack Bruce, who played with Cream, who knew Dylan's management personally, and he put in a request for us, and I think that was the strength that gave us the possibility of him actually considering it seriously and eventually saying yes.
He eventually did that, and you eventually approached Mark Knopfler to help on the guitar side. How did you manage to persuade him?
It didn't take any persuasion at all. Mark's got twins. He's a very caring father, and very, very impressed with Mark as a person. His guitar playing speaks for itself, and he's done a wonderful job on the record. But it didn't take any persuasion from our part to get Mark to do it. He was very keen to come on board.
Well, it's a fantastic achievement, Ted. I just wonder whether, if you do get to #1 at Christmas, as everybody seems to be predicting, whether that will diminish the pain among the community of Dunblane at all?
I don't think it's a case of diminishing pain. I think it's a case of, if we are up there, whether it's #1 or just up there high at Christmas, it's going to be a positive aside for the children in Dunblane, for the families in Dunblane, that they can have something other than just looking back to do this Christmas. And if they've got laughing kids in the family and looking at the television saying that's us, then that can only be very positive.
Well, Ted Christopher, you've done a great song, great thing. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck with the project.
Thank you.
They played to a concert audience, many of whom shared a common bond. Mark Knopfler and his band, the Notting Hill Billies, played for parents who lost children. and youngsters who lost friends in the Dunblane massacre.
It just shows that people are still thinking about it, because it's not something you should forget. People should still be aware about it, even though it's a year on and that.
There's not a day goes past that we don't think about what happened and thinking about our kids and going there. So it is a thing that's tinged with regret, of course. But anyway, we'll try and make the best of it. Hopefully it'll be a great show.
It was the former Dire Straits frontman who initiated the concert. Mark Knopfler had played a benefit gig in Lockerbie's Bingo Hall after the air crash there. A father of twin boys, he played on last year's Dunblane Christmas record and then asked if he could come in person.
As a father, he felt that he wanted to do what he could in some small way to cheer up the people who had been involved at the sharp end.
It was a night when Mark Knopfler chose to let his music do the talking. But when Amy Adam, a shooting victim, presented him with a platinum disc for the Dunblane single, the gesture did prompt a few words.
Means a lot. Thank you very much.
James Matthews, Sky News, Stirling.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
A rendition on the occasion they felt they owed to those that they lost. The Children of Dunblane reached #1 with their record last December. 6 months on, they handed over its proceeds, £500,000 to a selection of children's charities. But it was a night inevitably tinged with sadness.
These kids today from Dunblane have mixed and danced and sang with these pop stars. We're also at #1 in the charts, and that was so much fun. So maybe for me, that's what it's been about, having fun with the kids. And I'm just so sad that my own child has not been part of it.
The cheque handover coincided with a visit to Dunblane by Walter Meekat. He lost his wife and 2 daughters in the massacre in Tasmania last April. With Dunblane's bereaved, he visited the graves of their children.
While I wish, I suppose, the connection was never made to begin with, to be near these people here just sort of gives you an inner peace, an inner strength, which at times does tend to go away.
Dunblane's bereaved are approaching the final phase in their anti-handgun campaign. This week heralds the start of a 3-month surrender period. Around 250,000 handguns are due to be taken out of circulation. Owners will receive compensation in return, although shooters' organisations say that hundreds, if not thousands of weapons will simply be exported abroad and used by enthusiasts when they go on holiday for weapons that will become illegal in October. But Dunblane's victory is the disappearance of handguns from British soil. James Matthews, Sky News, Dunblane.